I-34M divorced my wife, 32F, after her women's empowerment group told her that any input from me was emotional abuse. So this still feels surreal to write, but here we are. My wife and I had been married for 6 years. We always had a pretty balanced relationship. Like, we didn't agree on everything, but we communicated, compromised, and worked through stuff like normal adults. About a year ago, she joined this local women's empowerment group. At first, I was actually supportive. She wanted to make friends, get more confident, and work on herself. Cool. I even drove her to a couple of their first meetings. But after a month, her entire personality started shifting. Suddenly, everything I said was problematic or controlling. I'd ask, hey, what do you want for dinner tonight? And she'd respond with, I don't need a man dictating my choices. That's emotional manipulation. Like, what? Then she started telling me I needed to stop giving input unless she requested it, because unsolicited input is a form of emotional abuse. This included suggesting a cheaper mechanic for her car, asking if she wanted to save money by meal prepping, even giving my opinion when she asked, then telling me I had forced my perspective on her. The weirdest part? She'd say these lines like she memorized them from a script. Anytime I tried to talk about how distant she felt, she'd hit me with, your discomfort is not my responsibility. I'm all for empowerment. I want her to feel strong and independent. But this wasn't empowerment. This was her group convincing her that any partnership dynamic was inherently oppressive. Things escalated when she told me we needed to sleep in separate rooms because my presence created an atmosphere of masculine expectation. I wish I were joking. The breaking point came during an argument about finances. I calmly said, we should probably look at next month's budget together. She froze, stared at me like I'd slapped her, and said, I'm done being financially controlled by a man. I will not tolerate this abuse. Then she started packing a bag to escape the oppressive environment. That was it for me. I told her I loved her, but I couldn't stay in a marriage where I wasn't allowed to speak, contribute, or even exist without being treated like a villain. I filed for divorce a week later. What's wild is that when she told her group, they apparently congratulated her for breaking free. A mutual friend told me they actually applauded her. Divorce was final 2 months ago. She emailed me recently saying she left the group and realized she'd been manipulated, but she understood if it was too late for us. It is. I'm not angry at her. I think she got sucked into something that preyed on vulnerable people under the guise of empowerment. I genuinely hope she finds herself again, but I'm also not going back to a relationship where I'm treated like an oppressor for existing.